pretty tough economic data coming out of America overnight. Another 4.4 million Americans applied for jobless claims this week, and that brings the total to 26 million since coronavirus really started 5 weeks ago. About 1 in 6 Americans have lost their job, and it's the biggest unemployment rate they've had since the Great Depression, and some economists believe US unemployment could hit 20%. So some really tough economic data from America. But the American stock market actually gained slightly overnight, and Aussie shares, interestingly, are up slightly this morning. We're up about 0.2%. And the biggest gain this morning is from the energy sector. That's our oil stocks. They've risen about 1.5%. And that's because overnight the oil price has gone up again. It's up about 5%. Brent crude oil is now about $21 a barrel. So that's a bit of a positive for our oil companies. And the gold sector today has risen as well. It's up about 1%, and that's due to the gold price rising about 1% overnight to hit $1,726 an ounce. But Annalise, it's looking like a pretty muted day of trading on the stock market. We're only up 0.2%. It's probably going to be a flat day of trade at the moment, at least.
Flat's better than down, isn't it? And Ed, some new research has been released today outlining the impact of COVID-19 on the business events sector.
Yeah, that's right, Annalise. The Business Events Council of Australia have put out some research this morning showing over the next 12 months their sector is set to lose $35.7 billion. That's money that would have been spent on events in the Australian economy. So that includes things like conferences, exhibitions, car shows, banking conferences in particular bring in a lot of revenue for Australia. And that's all gone now due to the COVID-19 restrictions. So tough news for the business events sector. This research predicts that from the end of 2019 to June 30 this year, about 92,000 workers will have lost their jobs in this sector, and a majority of them are casual workers. So really the only way that this sector can get out of the sort of hole it's in at the moment is when the COVID-19 restrictions are lifted, people can start going back into conference centres and really start to spend some more money again. I mean, one example is ICC Sydney, a convention centre in Sydney. They normally serve about 60,000 people a month coming through those doors. That's gone to zero. So that's just one example of how this sector has been decimated in recent weeks, Annalise.